Are we done with this yet, guys? Are we done with this game? It's obvious now that Trump is stacking his cabinet with billionaires. It's more than obvious that Elon Musk is and will continue to be the true power in this next administration. The wealthy have taken over our country, our economy, and our government now, right? The Supreme Court has transferred all of our power to the top 1%. Income and wealth inequality gets worse by the day. Homelessness is skyrocketing. The Republican Party somehow convinced working people that giving tax cuts to rich people, busting up unions, and allowing corporations to operate in this wild, wild west atmosphere is somehow going to translate to better jobs and higher wages for working people. Don't know how that's supposed to work. If that, wasn't bad enough, Trump and Elon just told y'all to your face that not only do they not give a crap about all the jobs that were sent overseas, that the jobs that are right here in the United States will also be going to lower wage workers from outside the country. Meanwhile, Democrats are scratching their asses, still clueless as to what they should do now. Some are running around, kissing up to Trump, kissing up to MAGA. Others think our real problem is that we need to move further to the right and become old school Republicans. I don't know what the hell they got that from. And you got the OGs, right? The establishment, who still want to play by rules nobody else is playing by. And they want to make sure that the establishment politicians in the Democratic Party maintain power, which means that the left corporate donors, which are the same as the right corporate donors because the corporations are given to both parties, maintain power. Democrats, we need to stop supporting candidates who take corporate money. And we need to revolt against the establishment. There's no two ways about it. There's this thing where we make this deal where, they have to take money too because the Republicans are taking money. So we have to be able to compete and we just have to be patient and let the Democrats work around the edges. Nah, everything that we try to get past gets watered down until it's essentially worthless. And then it ends up being nothing more than a power grab for corporate America. So they just keep getting richer and richer and richer, and somehow we celebrate these bills like they're really going to help us. Democrats need just a real simple platform. Fighting against wealth inequality, getting money out of politics, creating a single-payer, public option healthcare system, and restoring the Supreme Court to a non-partisan, non-political institution who upholds the Constitution and looks out for everyday people, looks out for our country, and looks out for individuals, not corporations. Democrats, it's really simple. We need to stop being afraid of the names that they call us. Socialists, communists. Come on, the biggest socialists in this country are Republicans. We have blue states. Most of our blue states are responsible for the majority of the GDP in this country. We give millions and millions of dollars to the federal government and get about half of that back in federal dollars. Meanwhile, red states are getting, double, triple what we're getting. That's socialism. They're taking money from us and giving it to red states. That's socialism. The VA, right? The VA is, healthcare is some of the best healthcare in the world. The veterans love it, absolutely love it. And it's socialized healthcare, right? Corporations get tons and tons of government subsidies. So they take taxpayer money and give it to corporations, right? They're taking from us to give to them. That's socialism. So it's okay. Socialism is okay for the rich, but it's not okay for everyday people. We got to pull ourselves up from our bootstraps, even though the money that the government has is our money. So shouldn't our money go to us? We are in a new Gilded Age. We have this same type of income inequality and corruption that we had before the Great Depression in the 1930s. There is no more middle class. They are fucking with us, right? So they keep pretending that there's a middle class, but being middle class means that you can afford to be in incredible debt to live the same lifestyle that middle class people lived back in the 1950s and 60s. That's what they mean by middle class today. Being in horrible debt. Democrats created the middle class. FDR created the middle class with the New Deal. So we already know what works. We already know how to fix this. But they keep pretending, they keep distracting us with culture war nonsense that doesn't really affect most people, right? They just want to distract us to keep us from looking up at the real problem in this country, the real reason that we are struggling, the real reason that we don't have enough money and we don't have enough housing. That's what they're trying to distract us from. In his 1944 State of the Union address, FDR talked about what he called the Second Bill of Rights, or the Economic Bill of Rights. And it was just a common sense list of things that he said were included in our constitutional right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So, a decent job, getting enough money, making enough money for our necessities, and he even said recreation. So, having enough money to live comfortably, to be able to pay for your rent, pay for your mortgage, have a car, raise a family, and even like go on a vacation. In addition to those things, he said that businesses and farmers were entitled to trade in a free market system with fair competition, free from monopolies and others getting an unfair advantage. Also included in this Economic Bill of Rights is health care, that we're all entitled to health care, right? We're also entitled to not have to worry about getting older, about getting sick, about having an accident, or needing to take some time off of work, or losing our job and being unemployed. So we should have coverage for that, right? So paid leave, unemployment insurance, life insurance, all that kind of stuff. And lastly, he said that we were all entitled to a decent education. So the answer to our problems is not hard, right? We did not have these problems when the rich were paying what they were supposed to be paying. We didn't start having these problems until Ronald Reagan decided to take the top tax rate from 70% to 28%, right? That's when we started having these problems. That's when we started going into debt. I know you guys already know this. At least some of you do. I know that you can feel what I'm saying is true. But I'm going to say it anyway. Donald Trump does not give a rat's ass about working people. He's only going to do the things that help Donald Trump and his rich buddies. That's it. Come on, guys. We have to stop this. We know. We know what's going on. We know the score. And the reason we know is because of what happened with the healthcare CEO. You had people from all over the political spectrum online yelling at their elites, where they, whoever they get their news from, telling them that they were out of touch, telling them that, enough of this left and right bullshit. You guys are just trying to get us to fight the culture war so we won't fight the class war. So we know. Uh, and it's tiring. Aren't you guys tired? Aren't you guys tired of playing their game and being their punching bag and their little puppet in their little chess game that they play with each other? I know I am.